Hey everyone, welcome back to Buick Outdoors. New around here, my name is Sheldon Marion, and today I'm joined by Shelby. We're going to be out snaring some rabbits. So what we're looking for when we're first setting up our snares is kind of like these rabbit highways, I call them. You'll see them a lot in this real thick country here. They love these willows and kind of swampy areas. And here we have is all these rabbit tracks, and they all funnel into one little spot. So if this spot here where I'll be setting a snare is right here. So we have one little anchor tree here, and then this here trail is where we'll set our snare at. So what I use for snare wire is just this 22 gauge brass or copper wire that you get from pretty well any sports store, Canadian Tire, Walmart kind of thing. You can get 20 feet of it for right around $9. And what I do here is once I find the little trail, I kind of clear some of this stuff out of there so I have kind of room to work with. And then you have to determine how much room you need to wrap around your anchor and then also your snare itself. My snares are usually around 4 to 5 inches, and then I want to wrap around that little tree twice. So I'll take out, I don't know, about that much. It's always better to have too much instead of not enough. You can always just kind of cut it off. And then for tools, you just need a Leatherman, pair of pliers, anything real simple like that. Snip, get this out of the way. Now what I do to make my snares is I first start with the one tail, and I make just a small little loop like that. So you have your little loop, you have this tail here, sit there and you spin this tail around itself however many times, 4 or 5 times kind of a thing. Sometimes you can get 6. Then you take your other tail here, simply put it through that loop, and now essentially what you have is a snare that's just unset. So now what we gotta do without trampling on their trail, you want to take your wire and you want to wrap it around here at least twice, so that we have a nice real good solid anchor. There's 1, 2, give her 1 more here. And you take it and just wrap it around itself for an anchor. And again, you want to wrap it 4, 5, 6 times. And then basically what I do, real simple, just kind of get this set up into position to where it's, you want to try to get it straight up and down. Sometimes the wire kind of twists and kinks on you. And there we have it. So now that is, you know, that kind of 5-ish inches wide. We have it about 3 fingers tall from the ground to the bottom of your snare. And then what I do is I'll take just a couple of small little branches. Doesn't take a whole lot, and these are just for guiding them in. what I do is I set them to each side of the snare, and this way it'll guide them into it. Otherwise they kind of go to the left or to the right. And this way here, see, they can't go right because they got all this stuff. They can't go left because they got this, and you should go right through there. And then one of the last things that I do, I have a little piece of ribbon so I don't forget where I've been and where I got snares set. I just find a little branch, tie it on there, nothing too fancy, and there we have it. Well, you guys, as you can see behind me here, the sun it's slowly starting to go down, and we've been setting rabbit snares pretty well all day. Before we head out of here, I just want to quickly tell you guys about some of the gear that I've been wearing today. I'm wearing my Northbound Gear Adventurer pants. These ones are the camo version. I also have them in black, gray, and the army green. And what makes these pants so great is that they're tear resistant, water resistant, and they're also lined. So getting in and out of the truck constantly and crawling around in the snow, when I get back into the truck, the water just beads up and runs right off of them. Also, with them being tear resistant, when I'm on my hands and knees kind of going through all the brush and stuff, they're not getting cut, and they're lined, so I'm staying nice and warm. So if you guys want to check out a set of these pants for yourself, or one of their many other items that they have, you know, jackets, kind of summer pants that turn into shorts and all that good stuff, head over to northboundgear.co, and if you use my promo code Sheldon15 at checkout, you'll receive 15% off your order, and that's including the sale items. So head over to northboundgear.co and check them out. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's the next day. Shelby just got off work here, so we're going to be heading out, and we're going to be checking our rabbit snares. Well, something happened here. We had a rabbit and something came in and ate it. Son of a gun. Either a marten or a lynx came in and ate my rabbit. Well, this one here, the trail, it's all buggered up here now, so pulling off the tape. We'll take this wire off, take this out of here. Might be able to salvage it and make another snare with it. Most of the times though, once you start twisting it like this, it just kind of gets soft and brittle, so you can't really use it, but we'll see. Alrighty, there we go. Yeah, see, it gets all twisted and buggered up, so that'll be just garbage. Nothing in that one. Oh, maybe. Better get out and look at this one. Dirty bugger. This one's broke off too. I don't know, I might be using too thin a wire. Huh. Might have to use the thicker stuff. Yeah, that one's still hanging. We got ourselves a rabbit.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stay in here, my puppies. There we go. Nice little rabbit. There. Right behind the neck. Perfect little catch. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, that's cool.
Well, here we'll grab the rest of our wire here. Pull off our flag, and away we go. There you go. See all those tracks you were smelling, buddies? Yeah, rabbit. Alright, watch out when I go in the back. No, bud, stay in there. I'll bring it to you. There you go, guys. All those tracks you were smelling? Yeah. See? A rabbit, friends. Yeah, we got ourselves a rabbit, hey?
They're even prettier than I expected.
But yeah, this yellow, when they're in the trees, that's what you're looking for. Is that, and then how big and black their eye is. Because you'll see that eye sticking out like crazy. Other than that, though, they blend right in. There we go. Take from the forest and give to the forest. There, they can have a pumpkin. Well, unfortunately here I have to get going back to work. So while we're out checking snares here this morning, I'm pulling off the ribbon, pulling all the snares down. They don't have rabbits in them. And then, yeah. That way when we leave here, nothing is still set. And we won't get any accidental catches, and nothing will be got in a snare and potentially get rotten or eaten over the course of a week here that I'm gone. But anyways, we got a couple more here to grab, and then we'll see you guys back in the kitchen. Alrighty guys, so we made her back to the house. We got our rabbit here, and the way that YouTube is, it's pretty sensitive on what I can and can't show you, and it's even sensitive on how I word things. So it might sound a little funny how I kind of explain some things here, but the first thing that you want to do when you're snaring rabbits is you want to remove the snare. Now, the way that the snare works, if it's set properly, if this is your snare, when the rabbit goes through, it goes underneath their chin, and they keep going, and it gets in behind their ears, and as they keep going, it tightens up. And what it does is it goes between the jawbone and the ears, and it cuts off the blood supply to the brain. So then essentially they kind of pass out and go to sleep within a few seconds, kind of a thing, and they lay there and kind of peacefully die. And then compared to how they normally die in the bush, getting chased by lynx, weasel, marten, wolf, coyote, hawks, owls, it's one of the best ways for them to pass away. But anyways, once you remove the snare, what I do is I make one little incision right here with my knife, and I take these two fingers, I go on one side, the other fingers I go on that side, and you just pull away. And then what that does is it pulls the hide up to its head and to the paws here, and then you simply just take your knife, cut them away, or take shears and cut the bones off, and then everything comes off that way. And then for gutting it, right here I'll make a small little incision just between the ribs and between its legs, and you reach up, you grab the guts and pull it out. And then the rib cage, I take those shears and I just cut up one side, and then that way you can remove the heart, liver, lungs, and all that stuff, because it's hard to get in there. And then you'll be left with a nice clean rabbit. But anyways, hopefully that's YouTube friendly on the way I explain that, and we'll see you guys back in the kitchen. Alrighty, so here we have our rabbit all washed up and somewhat dried off. You can see he's all skinned out, cleaned up. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to treat this kind of same way that I do my bears. So we're going to take off the front quarters, and then hind quarters here. Come down to hit that kind of pelvic bone. Go around. See that joint right there? Cut into her. And then you just kind of follow the bone through here. And we'll do that to both sides. You got your 4 quarters. This little bit of kind of belly skin, not really used for much. We'll just get that out of the way. Then inside here you kind of have their loin section. So what I do is I come down to these last little ribs. I make a cut like this in towards the spine. Oh, missed a rib. Then here, push down on it, separates everything out. And you can either use your knife and get in there, or you can take your shears and just cut it off. Oh, a little bit of sinew there, it's kind of hard to get through. And then here you have a little bit right there. So what I do is I just kind of follow the ribs on both sides here. Those ribs, there's really nothing on it. Do the same thing on that side. So the ribs and this belly stuff, we just kind of feed that to the weasels. And now what you're left with is kind of like the back loins, the inner loins, 2 front quarters, and 2 hind quarters. Now what we'll do is we'll grab a freezer bag, and I'm gonna freezer wrap all these because I'm heading off to work, and then when I come home, we'll cook this up. So let me quickly grab a freezer bag here, and we'll get her going. So here we got our handy dandy freezer bag. I like to make my freezer bags fairly large. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And the way you put your meat in here, it doesn't really matter. So I'll toss in the hind quarters. Put in the front quarters. We have the back, or the loins there, and then the back. Now the problem with these is that you're gonna have some sharp bones on these, so when you vacuum wrap them, you might poke through the bag. We'll take our freezer bag, put it into our little slot here, push her down, hit the vacuum. And there we go. I don't think it did a great job sealing, but we'll be cooking this up in the next couple of days here anyways. But that's how I get them all vacuum wrapped and ready to go for the freezer. Alrighty guys, so we made her back into the kitchen here, and Shelby's feeling a little bit under the weather, so what I'm going to be making for her tonight is just a real simple rabbit and vegetable soup. On a medium heat, start with a little bit of oil, add your rabbit, salt, pepper, curry, basil, thyme, a couple lumps of butter, and brown the rabbit. Flip the rabbit and cover with the lid and let it simmer. Let the rabbit brown, give it another flip, add enough chicken stock to cover roughly half the rabbit and cover it to simmer for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, pull out the rabbit to let it cool. Add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic and cooked till fragrant. Add 2 carrots, 2 celery sticks, and 1 medium-sized potato, all finely diced. Add the remaining chicken stock, stir, and let simmer till the potatoes and carrots start to soften. While you're waiting for the vegetables to soften, pull the meat from your rabbit and finally dice it to the same size of your vegetables. And once your vegetables are soft, add your diced rabbit to the pot and add noodles if you like. Add water to your desired consistency and taste as you go, and add more spice if needed. Bring soup back up to a boil and it's ready to eat. Well, the soup's all done up here now. Add a little bit of noodles there to kind of top it all off, and then Shelby here, she's up off the couch for a couple of minutes to grab a bowl, and she's gonna tell us what she thinks here.
I'm kind of excited to try rabbit for the first time. That's good. That's tender too.
Well, there you go, guys. Hopefully that helps you out with a little recipe for you if you want to go out, snare some rabbits, bring them home, clean them up, and turn them into a soup. Make your woman feel a little bit better. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you drop a little like down in the corner there. Leave us a comment or two. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.